Here are the most important cyber stories of the past week. Story number 1. Alph-V ransomware site was seized by the FBI. Then it was unseized, and then the FBI seized it again, and then it was unseized, and so on. So what exactly happened there? Let's first introduce the characters of this story. In one corner, we have Alph-V, also known as Black Cat, one of the most notorious cyber gangs out there. This gang made more than $300 million in ransomware attacks. On the other corner, we have the FBI, which is, well, it's the FBI. This wild story starts a few days ago when the FBI, together with many other law enforcement agencies, were finally able to take down Alph-V's ransomware infrastructure. Not just that. After the infrastructure was eliminated, the DOJ, the Department of Justice, released an encryption tool to help about 500 victims of the ransomware gang, allowing them to restore their systems and decrypt their data. Now, the FBI placed this notice on Alph-V website telling the world, we took control. Yet, a short time after, Alph-V replaced the FBI's notice with this message. This website has been unseized. And as you can see, they have provided their users with a link to their new website. It seems like the issue is that both sides have the keys that allow updating the website. So whenever one side make an update, the other one can quickly change it back. I've actually just checked, and currently the website shows the FBI's "this website has been seized" message. As said, Alph-V have already built a new website, and as a response to the FBI's action, the cyber gang changed their MO, allowing their affiliates to target hospitals and critical infrastructure, which were off limit up until now. And while the gang did not deny the DOJ statement that their tool could allow 500 victims to restore their data, they did say that because the FBI took down their infrastructure, 3,000 other companies will never receive their keys. So who's really winning? On one hand, it is a big win for the FBI. Taking down the infrastructure of a major ransomware operation is an amazing accomplishment. On the other hand, if the gang can quickly bounce back, and now many other companies are going to suffer, maybe it's not the most effective course of action. Story number 2. Vietnamese hackers sell bedroom camera footage. A group of individuals in Vietnam hack into home security cameras and sell the captured footage on Telegram. Now, since nowadays people place smart cameras everywhere in their businesses, on their garages, living rooms, and sometimes even their bedrooms and kids' rooms, these videos could contain some highly sensitive footage. The hackers offer 3 packages for accessing the stolen footage, from basic $6.16 to the super VIP package for $32.84. This package includes a whopping 4 years worth of hacked footage. The packages sometimes also contain access to live footage, meaning that if you pay, you'll get direct access to people's cameras. Now, if you follow my newsletter, you know I have talked about such incidents many times in the past. So I thought this might be a good opportunity to share a few tips on how to secure your smart cameras. So let's start by understanding why hackers are able to hack people's cameras. Now, as probably most of you already know, in most cases, they don't hack the cameras. They simply take advantage of the fact that the camera's owners didn't bother to change their camera's default usernames and password. So when they find such a camera, they don't need to work very hard to gain access to it. They just use the default credentials. In other cases, people buy cameras from unknown manufacturers, and those cameras are usually poorly built and they have poor application inside them, and people don't update those cameras. And because of that, those cameras contain vulnerabilities that hackers can easily exploit. I use smart cameras in my house, and one trick that I use to prevent people from hacking this camera is using this, a smart socket. Whenever I enter my house, I use my phone to completely shut down the camera. So even if someone was able to hack my camera, they would not be able to use it when I'm home. It is unplugged. Of course, the hackers could hack my smart socket and turn on the camera and then hack the camera, but this is a topic for a different episode of Think Cyber. So, buy cameras from reputable brands, update them on a regular basis, change the default credentials, enable two-factor authentication if you have it, and consider completely disconnecting them when you are at home. Story number 3. Google pay $5 billion for tracking people even when they use Incognito Mode. Yes, you heard it right. Google was sued because allegedly they kept tracking Chrome users even when they used the browser's Incognito Mode, also known as porn mode. I know some of you have expected to be completely invisible when you use the Incognito Mode. Well, you shouldn't have. Never ever assume nor expect privacy in the cyberspace. If you want real privacy, you have some options. You can buy a brand new laptop using cash money and never use it to log on to any identifiable service like your email and Facebook, and only use it when you really need private browsing. Or you can even use a virtual machine and reinstall it every time you use it. Or you can do what most of us are doing, simply accept the fact that Google knows everything about you and just give up. Google, talking about this case, on the other hand, is playing it cool, saying they did nothing wrong. Nevertheless, the giant agreed to pay $5 billion to settle this lawsuit. Papers are already signed, and they are now just looking for the judge to approve the deal. 3 stories down and 2 to go. Story number 4. Crypto wallet emptied during a job interview. It all started when the blockchain and web developer received an enticing job offer on LinkedIn. The recruiter who approached the developer directed him to an Upwork job post titled Fixed Bug and Responsiveness on Website. For those of you who are not sure what Upwork is, it is a platform allowing you to hire freelancers from all over the globe. Now, the job post itself looked highly legitimate, so the developer said he was interested. The recruiter then told him that as part of the tech interview, and in order to make sure he is the right person for this job, he's asked to dive into 2 GitHub repositories, Web3 Next.js and Web3 Next.js backend. A quick debugging task, a quick Google Meet, all in one day's work, and the developer thought it's going to be an easy task. Fast forward a few hours later, and our developer realizes that his MetaMask wallet, which is a type of crypto wallet designed specifically for interactions with the Ethereum blockchain, has been drained. Luckily, it only contained $500, yet it is his money. So in a desperate plea, our hero, the developer, who wasn't sure how this could have happened, turned to the community for help and advice. So many other developers and security researchers are trying to figure out how running and debugging these GitHub packages could have allowed the hacker to drain the developer's crypto wallet. Clues in the GitHub code, and there's some mysterious interaction and an empty wallet. This is exactly a puzzle waiting to be solved. Yet, while there are many speculations, no one is completely sure. There are theories there. Some people say that it was a reverse shell attack, that those packages opened a port that allowed the hacker to connect to the victim's computer. Some people said that the packages allowed the hacker to hack cookies and passwords locally stored, but nobody's actually sure. But there is another side to this story. Turns out our developer isn't the only one. After publishing his story, other people started sharing similar encounters. And they said it is the same recruiter on LinkedIn. This is not the first time that hackers use fake job interviews to manipulate people into running dangerous code. And it seems like this attack pattern is becoming more and more common. So what's the takeaway here? Never talk to strangers. But if you must talk to strangers, never run their code before you get to know them better. And now for our fifth and last story of the past week. Triangulation, the most sophisticated iPhone hack ever? Some of you might remember that a few months ago, Kaspersky Lab revealed the existence of an ongoing super sophisticated APT attack against iPhones in Russia. They named it Operation Triangulation. Good rhyming, Kaspersky. It seems like the operation has successfully compromised users for about 4 years, starting 2019. This attack was targeting, among others, listen carefully, the attack targeted the Kaspersky Lab security researchers themselves. And what do you get when you hack a security researcher? Well, an in-depth security research paper. And indeed, this week, Kaspersky Lab has shared the technical details of this attack, and it is mind-blowing. Firstly, while in most attacks, you need the victim to collaborate with you. You need them to click something, to open something, to do something, to install an app. This attack was a zero-click attack. The attackers only needed to send an iMessage to the victim's phones, and this is it. The victims didn't even need to open it. Moreover, the researchers discovered that the attackers exploited at least 40 days, including undocumented hardware features which they used to breach those iPhones. And by using all of those things, they actually launched the most advanced attack on iPhones which was ever published. Some claim the attack was initiated by the US government. Maybe they based their conclusion on the level of sophistication and maybe the fact that this attack targeted Russian victims. But currently, I couldn't find any real evidence that would support this claim. And this is it. The most important cyber stories of the past week. Let me take this opportunity to wish you all a wonderful and amazing year. And as always, stay safe and think cyber.